This is an audio-only recording of an exercise session for Vision of Adventure. A cycling session led by Kath Finn. Please note that you will need some form of stationary bike with controllable resistance to participate in this session. Recorded in winter 2025.
And I can see that people are pedaling, so that's really good. And I will say welcome this evening to Jimmy up in cold Scotland there, Molly, Esther and Linda. Now, if you haven't been riding regularly, these sessions can be quite difficult. So give yourselves breaks. And if I'm saying pedal really, really hard, then maybe don't go for that if you haven't been riding fairly regularly. As always, we're going to start by warming up. And I know some of you have just been pedaling for a minute or two, but we're going to take that and go for a few more minutes, just so that our legs get used to it. I rode with a friend today and I was like, says for ice on the forecast. And she's like, oh, no ice on mine. So I was like, okay, let's go fairly late just in case. So we said, okay, 10:30. And I met her about 10:30 and she went, oh, I told you there wouldn't be any frost. There's no frost at my place. And all our car windscreens are frozen. There's a frost on the lane. And then we went through town and she suddenly went, oh, you're right. There is frost. I was like, I think we'll stick to the main roads and then we'll probably stay upright, which we clearly have done because, here I am. So that was good. And we had a very, very nice ride in very cold, low sun. And I put panniers on my bike and we went to Garden Centre, which has a good cafe. And I went Christmas shopping, the start of my mum's stocking, because our Christmas is in 11 days or something, 6th of December. So I have to get my skates on. I've got 2 more days to finish present shopping, and then next week is food shopping. And my mum arrives on Thursday, so it's all got to be done by then. So it's a bit of a panic time at the moment. I'm doing that woman headless chicken. Where's my list for this? And where's my list for that? But it'll all happen. And then I've got 3 weeks of chilling out and relaxing while everyone else is going bananas. And as for those with children at school, Esther, ha. I remember those days. God, they were hard work. Because you're already really, really busy, and then somebody throws Christmas in the mix. And I don't know if it's got any better, but it's like every day we had to take different things to school and different things to nursery. And they tell you at breakfast time, it's like, what do you mean you need a shepherd's outfit this morning? I haven't got time. But apparently we all have to dress up at elves this Christmas, but that is my son's Canadian girlfriend's influence. And it's not an insistence from school. So we're going to progress the warm-up a little bit. And we're going to do 3 lots of 3 minutes. So the first minute is easy. The next minute is harder. And the third minute is harder again. So we're going to do that 3 times. So that will give you 9 minutes. You want the last minute of the hardest bit to be about effort 7 out of 10. So you're not going absolutely flat out at that point. You're going something that's reasonably steady. But it should be quite uncomfortable and your heart rate should then start to rise. So we are heading off on our first minute. Welcome, Emily. And so this one should be easy. But we should be feeling our cadence is coming up. It's becoming easier to turn those pedals, our body's settling down a bit. You're arriving on the bike. And although these sessions are fairly hard, You do need to remember to balance it if you can. Just get on your bike in the week and do half an hour, 20 minutes, just turning your legs over like you are now. Heart rate low, you can chat to your friend, especially if the mics were on. And just support this hard working session, putting a base of foundation in. And it's really important and it will help. Right, we want to take that intensity up a little bit. So it wants to be a little bit harder for a minute. Remember to hold something in reserve for the last minute. A little bit further to go. Half a minute. Okay, about 10 seconds. And then we want to be changing it up. This is the 3rd minute. So this one coming up now should be the harder one. 3, 2, 1. And a little bit more resistance. Now, remember, you have got an hour of me. And you are still warming up. So you don't want to be going completely wild. Well, I don't mind if you do, but you might regret it by the end. You've got another half a minute like that. And I can see a little bit of blowing going on. It's good. It looks about right from here, but we've not yet got warm enough to have red faces, so I could be wrong. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Keep the cadence at a reasonable level, but bring the resistance down so it's now easy. Well, there's 2 people stripping jumpers off, so it must be working. Esther, that looks really smart. Looks as if you just come out of work or something. We've got the smart and we've got the very cheerful. And we've got Linda has managed to tone in with her wallpaper beautifully. That's clever. Or a paint, might be paint. Okay, this is your little rest minute. You've got 20 seconds left. Five seconds to go. We're going to work that a little bit harder again. 3, 2, 1. All right, this is your middle one. So it's not super easy, but it's not really stretching you. That's looking nice. You're half a minute through. That's looking great. Okay, starting to find out whether you've pushed a bit hard. We're going up onto the harder minute. Oh, I like the water bottle. There's a really good assortment going on here. Linda's doubly armed. She's got 2 water bottles on there. Esther's got a particularly large one. Yeah. Which is very bright pink, very cheerful. And Molly sported what looks like quite a smart effort with a kind of a tapering top and possibly a smart screw lid. You got half a minute left. And I've got a cup of coffee, decaf at this time of night. Lovely. You've got about 5 seconds. So just keep going right till the end. 3, 2, 1. And go back to easy. So this is your third set of 3 minutes. This is your easy rest one. So make the most of it. That's looking nice and controlled. Well done. Great variations in pace or resistance. I'm liking it. Okay, 5 seconds, and then it's middle resistance. 3, 2, 1. So a middling resistance. Knowing that you've got a minute of harder stuff coming up. Great judgment. Well done. About 15 seconds left. I bet these minutes are just getting longer. That'll be a bit of a shock, Linda, if you haven't been on the bike since last year. Well done you for coming on. And up for that last minute. Off you go. So heart rate should be raised, blood vessels dilated, there's a bit of color going on, body temperatures come up. Legs should definitely feel like they're being asked to do something and they've kind of woken up. So we're looking good. And when we get to the end of this, we're going to go back to the easy. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. Just for a couple of minutes. This is recovery. Well done. So in the next bit, we're going to do 10 seconds really hard, 50 seconds easy, and then we're going to try 15 seconds really hard and see if you can feel a difference between that sustaining 10 seconds to 15. And we talked about it a little bit last week. And then we'll do 10 and then we'll do 15. So you've got 4 very short, hard sprints, which you guys, we did last week for 10 seconds and you're pretty good at them. But you've got another minute at this because we want you to be nice and fully recovered. Oh, I brought my Christmas ham today and ordered all the sausages. It's very exciting. "40 seconds left. And I'll give you a count in. Hey, and we had a party at the weekend next door, and I wore a gaudy necklace of bright Christmas lights, and quite big, about 1.5 inches long or 2 inches long each light, with a big bulb around them. It was great. You could make them flash, but I decided not to. Okay, we've got a 10-second countdown, 5-second countdown, and this will be 10 seconds sprint. 3, 2, 1, go. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, stop. Back to easy. Got easy for 50 seconds. And next time we're going for 15 seconds fast. So 15 seconds sounds nothing, but it'll be interesting to see the difference. "15 seconds to go. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. "10 seconds gone. Hold on to it. 3, 2, 1, ease. Well done. That was great. So we're going to go back to 10 seconds hard. And then we're going to finish with a long one. I've never considered 15 seconds long before, but I think in this context, it probably is. 10 seconds to go. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. 10 seconds. Hard as you can. Well done. Fantastic. 3, 2, 1, ease. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to do one more. Last one, 15 seconds. I think we're warm. We've done a good job. Okay, we've got 10 seconds left, and we're going for 15. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, 2, 1, ease. If there was a big difference between how you felt for the 10 and the 15, put your thumb up. Or if it was just like more, there's one there, yeah. Molly, was it much the same or was there a difference? Thumb up if it's different, thumb down if it was the same. Ah, nice, interesting. Yeah. And Linda, do you want to do a thumb up or down? Oh, we're going up there. Okay. Nice. Right. Let's do something slightly less taxing. We are going to do a hard bit, but we're going to think about pedaling first, because we usually do this at the beginning of the season, just to I encourage you to be a little bit more mindful about how you're pedaling your bikes. And we did a tiny bit last week. We're going to do a little bit more now. So we're going to pedal, but we're going to think about one foot at a time and the actions that foot's taking, and just split it up into sections. So the foot is going round, but there's different muscles that are coming on board to push that foot round from the leg as you go round the circle. So we're going to start with the top bit. The top of the pedal stroke is when your knee is nearest your face. So that's the top. And then from there, you push forwards towards the front of the bike and the knee starts to go down. So that's the first bit that we're going to think about. And we're going to think, purely because I'm right-handed, we're going to think right leg first. And we're going to go for a minute, just thinking about pushing over the very top. So as your knee gets to the top, as it comes up towards being nearest to your face, you're already going to be trying to get your muscles to push your foot forward. And it can't go forward because they are either clipped or strapped, but pushing forwards and downwards. So almost like you're pushing into a solid wall of snow. So we'll do right leg only. Off you go, thinking about that. So you need enough resistance, but it doesn't need to be really hard. Because you need enough resistance to feel that you've got something to kind of push forward into, but not so hard that you're really struggling to move the pedal. And it shouldn't be super hard work. Your breathing should stay the same. It's mental that you're thinking about firing your nerves to tell your muscles to work. That's where the energy is going. And the more efficient you can make each circle, the more efficient you'll be on the bike. So the more energy you'll save, or the faster you can go, depending which one you're wanting. Okay, it's a minute. So keep the pedals turning, but now we're going to start thinking about the next bit. So you've pushed across the top of the stroke. So when the knee's high, and now the knee's dropping forwards towards the front of the bike, and the foot is going to the point where it's closest to the floor. Now, the first bit of that action is where the most of the power is. So we really want to be thinking about coming over the top, which we thought about last time, and then pushing down really hard. And you should be able to feel, I want you to feel your glute muscles, your backside working. Because we use our backside to sit on the bike, but our glutes are fantastically powerful and we need to use them. If what tends to happen for some people is the quads, so the front of the top half of the leg takes over. We do need them, but we need them to work with the glute, not instead of the glute. So both, they should be working as a pair. So let's try that. And let's be thinking about right leg, glute and quad, front of the leg and backside, really working to put power on. And you may find that you need to turn it up a tiny bit. And keep those connections going. The brain has to be making all this happen. And the brain needs lots of glucose to function, which is one reason why we suggest people eat about an hour before. So you come in, not massive, obviously not your full dinner because you probably throw up, but eat a little something. So you're coming in with some fuel for your brain and your muscles to work with. Okay, that's cool. We now need to think about the third bit, which is the foot at the bottom of the stroke is going from the near your bike and coming backwards towards the rear of your bike. So it starts at the front and your foot's moving back before your leg starts coming up. So it's that move back, which should be a continuous action with the first two sections. And it should feel a little bit like you're scraping dog poo off your shoe or mud. So you haven't just given up when you've got to the bottom of the stroke and stopped thinking about it and stopped working. You're really employing your head still to make sure that the end bit is efficient. A little bit like in swimming, where you want to be really pushing back for the last bit of the stroke and not losing that extra energy. So we'll do that, and we want that on the right leg for a minute. That's great. Keep thinking right, really efficient, right, efficient, right. What is it doing? Is it behaving? Is it smooth? There are very few people who put out a really smooth power curve on a bike. If you have something that reads power and produces a graph, really good cyclists, it's almost flat. There's very little variation. So they might produce 200 watts and they'll produce 200 watts. Whereas people like myself will produce much less than that, but will produce 80, then 110, then 100, then 120, then 95, and we won't be that smooth. Okay, lovely. Now we just keep going. Think about the right leg. We're just going to do another minute like that. Think about the whole of the right leg. And don't worry about the back bit so much. There used to be a thing about, oh, pull your leg up at the end. Your hamstring isn't strong enough. You're delivering very little power. So it's almost a really smooth move. You've got enough power in the front to almost swing into the back end of the stroke and lift your leg. So, and we're wanting it to be beautiful and silky. You watch the people on the Tour de France and they're just spinning. And it's so smooth. That's brilliant. And that's what we're aiming for. So obviously we need to do the other leg. We might not ever ride in the Tour de France, but there's no reason why we can't try to emulate good style. So now we need to think about the left leg, and we're going to do that same. Start at the top. Think about the top section of the stroke first. We're going to do that for a minute with the left leg. Off you go. So as your knee comes up to be near your face, you're really thinking about pushing forwards and trying to access the power from your muscles as early as possible. You're doing 90 of these a minute. So if you can get fractional more power out over an hour, that adds up, which is really pretty good. So 90 times 60. 960 is 54. 540 pedal strokes in an hour. So whatever gain you can make for one, you're multiplying that 540 times to get your increase over an hour. Got an hour? Yeah. Okay. Go on to thinking about the next bit. We've been thinking about pushing over the top. Now think about taking that momentum and driving down with the left leg. And remember to take the glute with you. So we do want those muscles active. Yes, they do a great job for sitting on. They're nice and comfortable. However, they've got more things to do in life than that. Keep pushing down, power on, power on, power on. So your lungs should be all right. And your concentration should be quite high. And then you've got the little bit about pulling across the bottom. So getting mud off the bottom of your shoe so that you're finishing that pedal stroke. And then it's just, that left leg is just lifting lifting gracefully up through the air at the back. That's very nice. No wonder you all killed me on that cycling weekend. That's really good. Bottom of that, scraping that shoe, using that lovely mobile ankle, ankling, circling brilliantly. A little bit of bend in it. Brilliant. Now, just don't think about anything for a minute particularly, or certainly don't think about pedaling. And then we'll just do a minute with both legs, really focusing on it. But just have a minute where you're just relaxing. It's quite hard making your brain work. Half a minute of chilling. Oops. Okay, 10 seconds. And then I want you to think about both legs and just do a minute of really focusing on both legs, accessing the power that you've got. So clench your glutes, push your legs, push down, smoothly up the other side. And you may have to switch your power up a little bit to actually match that. Liking it. Lovely cadences going on. Really nice steady bodies. Really good. And relax a bit. So I could see Esther definitely put her power up. So I don't know, Molly, did you? Thumb up or thumb down? Did you need to put power up? No thumb. Linda, did you end up putting power up? Yeah, thumb up there. Molly, you try. Oh, yeah. Okay, brilliant. So although you weren't puffing and panting with the effort, oh, yeah, she was puffing and panting. With the effort of doing it, you weren't, I didn't say to you, work really hard. I said, use your muscles effectively. And the result was that you needed to put more resistance on. So you were putting more power out, and that on the road or in the velodrome would convert to more speed. So there's two different ways of accessing more speed. And one is more muscular and one is your cardio system, your breathing and your heart rate. So it's kind of worth remembering that. So when you're concentrating, you can produce more effort. And obviously, the tireder you get, the harder it is to concentrate. But that concentration also needs fuel. So if you're out for a ride for a couple of hours, or if you're with Vision of Adventure or somewhere else and you're out for 4 or 5 hours, you must remember that you need to feed the system. And it's great. You just need a mobile picnic and you'll be fine. So we've done a little bit of techniquey stuff. We're now going to do a little bit of VO2 max work. So that means hit high intensity. So it means working kind of pretty hard. more or less as hard as we can. And it's trying to encourage your system to take up as much oxygen as it can. And obviously, oxygen then goes into the bloodstream, goes around the body, and is needed to produce energy. So it's an important component of being able to go fast. So in order to do that, we're going to do 30 seconds hard and a minute easy. And we're going to do 5, and then if we have time, we're going to come back and do another 5. So that's like 5 minutes work of a hard level. So don't do the first one like it's the only thing you're ever going to do. Just save a little bit in the bank for later on. So let's have a look. Okay, have we had drinks? Are we settled? Are we pedaling? We'll give you a count in. So we're going to do 30 seconds hard, a minute easy. And I tell you what, the 30 seconds will feel like the minute, and the minute will feel like 30 seconds. So we're all ready. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, and go. 30 seconds hard. Remember, it's probably 1 of 10. Brilliant. Well done. Liking the pacing. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Easy. Okay, a minute easy. So try to keep pedaling, but just take the resistance off, and that allows your bloodstream to just settle things down a bit, take away the chemicals you've just produced. You will have some lactic acid, which will convert back into energy, and then you'll be left with the hydrogen, which is the bit that makes your muscles hurt. And that will help your recovery, and then you'll be ready to go again. I've been pretty generous on the rest this week. It's possible as we go through the weeks, if we repeat this, the rests might get a bit shorter. Okay, you've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds hard. Excellent. Halfway through, almost. Well done. Really pushing over the top, and that helps you stay with it. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, you've got a lovely minute here. And just enjoy it. And I can see a lot of effort and energy and tension going into the faster bits. Make sure you remember that your core's involved in that. So that's taking quite a lot of the strain, hopefully. Which reminds me, I think I'm destined for gym tomorrow, and I definitely need to do some core. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds. Let's go for it. Brilliant. You're holding there fantastically. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and ease. Okay, you're over halfway. On this first set. And you're looking good. Right. And you can always go less hard. It is up to you. You do have choices. And especially if you haven't done that much, you might not want to be going flat out. Also, if you're coming back from illness or you're really tired. Okay, we're going again. 3, 2, 1, go. Brilliant. Halfway through. Three, two, one. Have your minute. Now, quite often we do 20/40s or 40/20s. So you have 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off. So you've got a whole long minute this week. Right, we've got one more in this set. You're doing really well. And you've got half a minute of relaxing before we hit it. So well done, all of you. And these are really hard. So don't kid yourselves. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go for it. Last 30 for this. Excellent. Well done. 10 seconds left. Hang on in there. 5, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Well done. That was a hard little set there. Now, we do want to go back to that if possible, but we're going to do a tiny bit, just a little bit of cadence, just so we've got something else in, and we'll probably do a bit more of this in future weeks. So we're hitting all kinds of things tonight. Cadence is really good for the neural pathways, so the nerve messages from your brain to your legs. And as we get tired and as we get older, those tend to get slower. So doing some cadence work at different speeds is a really good way of reminding them that they can send fast messages, and they just have been, but we'll do a little bit that's slightly more controlled. So we'll have another minute just pedaling nice and easy and getting some kind of semblance of normality back. And then we'll go, I'll put the metronome on because we haven't used that these sessions yet. And we'll try and go for 100, cadence of 100 in a minute. So every time you hear a beep on the metronome, you want one knee, the same knee, to be up nearest to your face. So you can think about your right leg or your left leg. You're trying to pedal in time to that beat. So we're good to go, and we'll do a minute at 100 and just see how you find it. Your cadence generally is really good though. Reasonable resistance. You need some, so you've got enough to turn the pedals. You're not bouncing all over the place, but you don't want loads of resistance, so it's really difficult for your muscles to move. This is much more about using your nerves to turn your legs quickly and getting your muscles to fire rather than getting them to have a big load. That's looking good. Some great people in time here. You guys must be amazing on the dance floors. Okay, just chill out for 30 seconds or a minute. Right, we're going to try going up one more. We're going to try going up to 110. And although you're not working really hard in the conventional sense of puffing and panting and pushing a big resistance, I bet your heart rates have gone up because that neural stress is also quite hard. But it can feel just like a little different. So we've got 15 seconds and we'll try 110 for a minute. So it's a little bit faster. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Well done. Excellent stuff. Half a minute to go. That is a really horrible noise. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay. We're going to have a minute and then we're going to come back down to 100. And that's the last one. I was going to do a little bit more around that, but we haven't really got time. It's good. We've got far too much to fit in. Okie doke. I like the way that you're using your rest time. The legs are going round, but they're going round really nice and easy. "15 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Last minute of cadence work. This is 100. So it's slightly slower than the last one. Well done, folks. Ace. And remember, you can come on your bike in the week and just do the easy bit. Just get on and turn your legs over. You're much better off doing that than you are doing something that's really hard. A little bit of really hard is okay, but you don't need a lot. Five seconds left, that's all. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Nice jobs. Okay, let yourselves relax. And then we've just got a little bit of time left. We've got enough. So I give you choice at this point. You've worked really very hard. So if you want to start just winding down, cooling down, and just pedaling a nice, easy resistance, that's absolutely fine, because we're now on like 8 minutes too. If you want to use the last 5 minutes to do 3 30 seconds, then I will count that in, and it's your choice about whether you do it or not. If you haven't cycled for a while, I would use this as cool down. If you're going to do the 30 seconds, make sure you've got enough energy to do them like properly. Yeah, we don't want to just kind of half do them, because then you get tired without getting any real benefit. So we want to do one or the other. And you know, you're so lucky. I was going to do another 5, but actually we really don't have time to do that. So we're going to do another 3 if you wish. And I'm going to set you off in just a few minutes. If you want to go, we're going to go 3, 2, 1 and go for 30. Oh, I've got 1. And apart from that, just make it cool. Take your time if you want to. Wind down, let your heart rate come down. And if you're going for it, you've got 10 seconds left on this one. And make sure you do one or the other. Don't get carried away and then half-arse it. Not sure I'm supposed to say that on tape. Never mind. And ease. 1.30. Okay, so you've got a minute. And then you can have your option about whether you do another 2 is the max we're going to do. So the maximum that you can do is 1 more minute of hard work. And you've got half a minute left on rest. Ooh, the metronome's not happy. Okay, you've got 10 seconds if you're going for it. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds if you want it. Halfway through. Good job. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And cool. Okay. 1 minute of spinning, whoever you are. And you can start hallucinating about your tea now. You've only got a few more minutes. Well, I've got a client call later on and a few more bits to do, and then it'll be my tea. And we've got a nearly replastered and resorted front room. So nearly builders are gone. We just need to dry it out, then we need to paint it, varnish the skirting boards, and then decide how to furnish it. It's a complicated life sometimes, but it will be much better. It's going to take us another year to furnish it, I reckon. You can't afford to refurnish it now. Right. 3, 2, 1. Last 30 seconds if you want it. $15 to go. 5, 3, 2, 1. Very well done, everyone. Ease off. I'm going to turn the recording button off in a minute, but if you are listening to this on record, please make sure you have 5 to 10 minutes of cool down riding, and that will help your recovery. And I hope you've enjoyed tonight's session. I've got a lovely heart floating up from Emily. Thank you. And I'm going to stop the recording now.